Hey, Alan. Okay, so Liana, I think I said your name right, Alan. Well, as promised, I'd rather just respond to you about it, your question versus talking to you, because I don't know, I just feel like it's easier that way for me to kind of put my thoughts out there um, than just writing it down. So, first of all, thank you for reaching out to me. I say thank you because more so for your sake. Like sometimes people always like feel the way that they feel and they keep it in and feel like this sounds dumb. I'm not going to share it with anybody. But the more transparent and open you are with your reality, the more you realize that you are so not alone. I keep looking down because I have your message on my phone right here. I want to make sure I address the question that you actually asked me. Um, so first of all, congratulations on like a lot of the accomplishments that you have made on your journey in life, and that's big. And I don't want you to minimize how much you've actually accomplished just because you find yourself currently in a season or a state of like discouragement or feeling like, how did I get here after I accomplished so much? Like honestly, yo, that is life. Like we have these ups and downs. There are moments and times where we feel like we're on this high and we're accomplishing like your marathon and being an athlete and playing football and all these things that you've done, like they're a part of who you are. They're a part of your journey. They're a part of your story, and they still matter, regardless if you feel like at this current specific moment you're operating at that level. It the cool part is it shows you that you can. It shows you that some moments when you feel down and discouraged that you're actually stronger than you think you are, because sometimes we can be so caught up in the moment of feeling defeated that we forget how much we've actually have accomplished or overcome or just endured in our life. And so I want to encourage you to allow your memory to not discourage you or feel like, how did I, how am I not operating at that level? But on the flip side, your perspective to shift and allow your memory to serve you as a resource, as a tool to say, you know what, if I did it before, I can do it again. So that's the first thing. You asked me about like just how do I stay um like encouraged or motivated. You didn't use those exact words, but what drives me, what motivates me to keep pushing in my times of fitness and health, and what inspires me to take the first step? There's a lot of questions, but I'll start off by saying one thing that I realized on the journey, because it's been a journey, which is the same thing, is that it's a journey, Alan, and that it's your life, right? So there were times like my first year when I started losing weight, and to answer your first question, what motivated me to start? I wanted to be free. I was trapped. I was overwhelmed. My obesity just dictated so many aspects of my life, both physically, psychologically, emotionally. Um, I don't know how much you read or watch on my posts, but I'm a Christian. But not only am I a Christian, I'm a preacher. I'm a woman. I'm a preacher. I'm 28. I love Jesus, and like I came to a point in my life where I was like, you know what? I'll never preach a gospel that I don't live. And the gospel of Jesus Christ says that who the Son sets free is free indeed. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. That Jesus came to set the captives free. Like in all these, so I had to allow that to inform like my life. I was trapped, and yes, it's talking about spiritually, but it's also talking about our current state. Like I was trapped, I had an addiction, I was overwhelmed, I felt defeated. But what did it mean for me to allow God into that space and to take me on a journey of setting me free? And so when I yielded and surrendered to God can help me in this instead of operating out of defeat, it changed my perspective and it shifted everything for me. And I just started taking the journey. Like it's been 7 years since I started, but my entire weight loss journey took me 4 years to lose 180 pounds. So it was not an overnight process. And I have a lot of whys. I have a lot of whys, but and I can send you my list of whys, but ultimately your why is internal, and it's what is your why? I wanted to be free, ultimately. I wanted to be able to wear clothes I wanted to wear. I wanted to be able to live the life I wanted to wear. I know that I wanted to travel and I want to speak, and I didn't want my weight to be a hindrance. I knew that I just felt trapped. Ultimately, I felt trapped, and there was a list of reasons why I felt trapped. But to sum it up, I felt trapped in that there was a me inside of me that I was not allowing to come out or to live fully. And I didn't like that. And I was afraid, but I was more but I didn't allow the fear anymore to hinder me, because I'm like, you know what? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I know I need to leave where I am, because I cannot live in this state, in this place, in this reality forever. And that really gave me that extra push, that boost that I needed to say, you know what, let's go. Jesus, I don't know what this looks like, but I need your help, and I don't want to stay here. I don't want to be 400 pounds, or I was 360, 356. I don't want to be this anymore. Like I struggled with my entire life, and I was 20 years old when I said I was approaching my 21st birthday that year. So that's kind of what got me started. And I just made small changes. It wasn't this big overhaul shift. Like I started by not drinking soda and juice anymore, walking more. Like it wasn't like I became this overnight fitness guru overnight. It was more about consistency and dedication and discipline and seeing a thing through and just following through, because what I wanted was more valuable than the sacrifice that it took for me to have it. And when you decide that what you want is more valuable than the sacrifice that it takes for you to have it, you'll keep making the necessary decisions. And yes, you fall down. That's part of the journey. One thing that I learned though, and I was talking to a friend because she was talking to me about falling down. It's not about falling down. We will all fall down. Alan, you're out of state. Let's say that you what may define as have fallen down. That's normal. That's the journey. But what I realized was that it's not about necessarily falling down, but what do you want your recovery time to be? How long do you want your recovery to? How long do you want to be in this place? Because you're never going to be satisfied with this reality. You're never going to be satisfied with feeling like you're not living at your maximum potential. But you get to decide, how long am I going to stay here? And once you realize that you know that you don't want to stay here, and that you're willing to take on the journey, which includes sacrifice and discipline, it's not just an end goal. And when I read your message, I feel like I hear you saying, like, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished this, I've accomplished this. But these are like specific moments, or let's say I'm training for a marathon, which is amazing, or I'm training for something, or I'm an athlete for this season. And so there's these endpoints that come to those moments. And those things are amazing aspects of the journey. They fire you up, they keep you going. Sometimes you need that extra boost or that thing in the journey. But you have to see this as your life, Alan. It's not a thing to accomplish and check off the list. It's a journey to be lived. It's a lifestyle. It is the man you want to be. And so when you look at it as there's no end point, you realize, oh my gosh, I have to actually just make a life for myself that is conducive to me being successful continually. And the one thing that helps me from being anxious or overwhelmed is the reality that I can only live this journey one day at a time, one moment at a time anyway. So how can I live well now? If there's a season, there's a place, there's a circumstance that I'm in that I don't like, what can I do and how can I move forward? What decisions can I make to just keep going forward with the journey? So I hear you feeling very discouraged, but part of this discouragement, I feel like, is that you're stuck in this moment in time and feeling like you're comparing yourself to your past. It's like the past is over. Yes, you've accomplished those things. And so don't use them as things like, how did I accomplish so much and then now I'm here? You need to use those as points of saying, you know what, I can do this because I've seen myself do strong things before. So let me just gear up and keep it pushing instead of wallowing in self-defeat or pity. Like, that's not going to serve you. And then you said to yourself, what do I want? You need to make yourself a list of whys, because your why, I can inspire you and I can encourage you. I can't motivate you. Motivation is internal. It's your own personal why. What do you want? You want to feel strong? You want to be accomplished? You want to be a disciplined man? You want to see yourself operate, at a higher level than you're offering yourself? You want to give your kids a father, your wife? I don't know. From your pictures, it seems like you're a father and a husband. What type of life do you want to afford yourself, your family? And then the discipline and the decisions that you make come after that, because you realize, if I want this, then you say to yourself, well, then what does it take for me to get there? So you're not focused necessarily on the sacrifice. You're focused on the gain. But however, in life, period, all of our gains come with sacrifice. But if you're focused on, I got discipline, this is hard, I don't want to do, then you're not going to do it. But if you focus on, I want X, and in order for me to get X, it requires for me to do A, B, and C, then A, B, C just becomes a means to an end. I'm not telling you it's easy, but you focus your mind on what you want, and then the things that require you to get there become less important. Not that they're not important, they're very important. But if you focus your journey on it's difficult, and if that's your mentality and you're focused on the difficulty of it, that continues to be your roadblock. If you focus your mentality on, I gotta get here, I gotta give myself this life that I want, then it becomes a state of, this is inevitable. This is a necessary means to an end, and that becomes your focus. That becomes your drive. That becomes that becomes your relentless pursuit. And so you look at it like, what life do I want to afford myself? And if health and fitness are a part of that, then I buckle down and I just create an environment that's conducive to me being successful. And I stop focusing on what I've messed up on. I stop focusing on how difficult it is. And I focus on being relentless and passionate about giving myself what I want. And it's all about the perspective of your mind. And so you got to really shift how you handle your mind and your thoughts and how you see yourself, because that plays a huge role in what you begin to, to do and how you live. So I don't know if that answers your question. This doesn't have to be the end of the story. Like, watch the video. Tell me if I helped you. If you got more questions, shoot them my way. I'll answer you. But have a good day. Okay. Bye.